Advanced Algebra through Data Exploration, Mastery Quiz number 8. Number 1, when you drink a regular cup of coffee, 8 ounces, you consume about 200 milligrams of caffeine. That's some pretty potent coffee. The amount of caffeine in your body decreases at a rate of 40% an hour. Write an equation that models this situation. Y equals the amount of caffeine in your body, and X equals the number of hours after consuming the caffeine. All right, remember, the first task is to change your percent to a decimal. So 40% equals 0.40, or just 0.4 is also acceptable. Now, it's decreasing. It decreases. So remember, we need to subtract that from 1. 1 minus 0.4, or 0.40, would equal 0.60, or just plain 0.6. All right? So the 40% represents the amount of caffeine leaving the body. The 60% represents the amount of caffeine that remains in the body. So, write our equation. Remember how this works. Y equals A times B to the X power. A is the initial amount. Well, we're starting off with 200 milligrams of caffeine, and B is the amount, okay, or the rate at which, in this case, the amount that is staying in our body per hour. So we write Y equals 200 times 0.60 to the X power. There's number 1. Number 2, if you drink just 1 cup of coffee in the morning, how much of the caffeine will remain in your system after 4 hours? So, rewrite this. Y equals 200 times 0.6 to the, replace the X because X represents the number of hours, replace it with 4. Now, you can just type that into your calculator. 200 times 0.6 to the 4th power. And it says 25.92. Well, 25.92 what? Milligrams, okay, because that's what it's given in, milligrams of caffeine. So that's how much remains in your body after 4 hours. All right, next. Simplify using your properties of exponents. Remember how this works. All right, we've got grouping symbols here. There's no plus or minus signs inside here anywhere. This exponent goes to everything. That includes the 5. Okay, so 5 cubed, okay, which is 125. So 125. Then we've got 2 exponents. We've got x to the 3rd to the 3rd. Okay, remember your property there is to multiply your exponents. So that would be x to the 9th. Okay, same thing here. We've got 3, we've got a 5 for an exponent. So that would be y to the 15th. All right, now we're going to do the other one. Same thing. We've got grouping symbols here. So 2 to the 5th power. Okay, 2 to the 5th power is 32. So we've got 32x, just like what we did before. We've got a 4 and a 5, so there, that's going to be x to the 20th. And then we've got y to the 7th to the 5th. Okay, well, 7 times 5 is 35, so y to the 35th power. All right, we are not done. Okay, so now 125 is a base, 32 is a base. You multiply those together. Okay, they're bases, they're not exponents, so multiply them together. So 125 times 32 gives us 4,000. Okay, now we have x to the 9th and x to the 20th. I see a base of x and a base of x. That's where we add the exponents. Okay, so that's x to the 29th power. And the same thing with the y's. Y to the 15th, y to the 35th. 15 plus 35 gives us 50. So that becomes y to the 50th power. Okay, there is number 3. Remember your properties of exponents. Okay, there are a total of 3 properties, but we only have 2 of them for number 3. All right, next one, solve. All right, remember the process here. First of all, do we have 1 or 2 answers? Well, according to that 5, it is an odd number, so we are only going to have 1 answer. So we don't need to worry about 2 answers here. All right, step 1, add 8 to both sides. So 4 times x plus 6 to the 5/3 power equals 128. Divide by 4. So x plus 6 to the 5/3 power equals 128 divided by 4 gives us 32. Now, we have to get rid of the 5/3 before we can do anything with the plus 6. Because again, that x plus 6 right now, it's locked by that exponent. So get rid of the 5/3. Okay, so we're going to use the reciprocal 3/5. And remember, what we do to one side, we do to the other. On the left side, the 5/3 and the 3/5 cancel each other out. So we are left with x plus 6. And on the left side, if you take 32 to the 3/5 power, and again, do not forget to use parentheses, you will get 8. And finally, we want to get rid of the 6, subtract 6 from both sides, and we end up with x equals 2. That's it, just 2. That is the conclusion of Mastery Quiz number 8. Good luck.